Hello. Um, this might be a bit annoying, so I'm gonna put it down. Hold on. There we go. Hi guys. You know what I realized? I realized that I've not been entirely transparent with my audience, myself, the world, people, etc. So I'm gonna talk a bit more because I like talking and it's a good thing to talk. And yeah, um, this morning I woke up to the news of Marcellus Williams. And honestly, what did I feel? I felt disappointment, like this numb, aching disappointment. 1 million people signed for his execution to be postponed, and he's still executed. That's the state of where we are in the world right now. And it really feels like I should use my voice to talk about something like that. Or I should be using my voice to talk about Gaza. Or I should be using my voice to talk about Lebanon. Or I should be using my voice to talk about Congo. Or I should be using my voice to talk about Sierra Leone. Talk about what's going on in Zambia. What's going on in Malawi. What's going on in South Africa. Tribalism. Colorism. Ism. Feminism. What's going on in Afghanistan. It feels like I should. But I've reached the point now where it's just not, there's no point to it. I just feel like I'm not the one to do that. I just don't feel like I'm the right person to do that. And sometimes I feel like maybe it's because I'm not educated enough. I didn't do really well on my A-levels. I'm not in uni. I grew up my whole life just feeling, what's the word? Stupid, dumb, belittled. Because the people I grew up with just made me feel that way. Because I guess that's what they were used to. And in all of that noise, I still get up and I still use my voice for something. Like, I've been grappling with my accent for a really long time because I've noticed that it changes and wanes, etc. comparing to the environment that I'm in. But I never fit in England. Like, I just never did. Like, I never got a British accent, or at least where I stayed. I never fit in with, like, northerners. Like, I just don't, And I do sometimes. Like, my accent changes, when I'm talking to someone who's from here. Like, I literally sound like that. But when I'm talking by myself, I don't sound like that. But when I'm in South Africa, I'm talking by myself, I sound British. It's just very interesting to me that my body does that. Like, my voice does that. And I recently watched a podcast by Madeline Archie. And she was talking about how she's trying to refine her accent, or that she was trying to refine her accent. And it made me think, do I want to refine my accent? Am I okay with how my accent is? But then I realized I don't care. Like, it doesn't even matter, Accents are made up. They're a real thing that we made up. That's so weird, but kind of cool at the same time. And I've also been grappling with, like, stuff that we made up, that we made become real, isms, the system we're in. How finite, how useless the rules that we live under are. They just don't even work with nature, they just don't even make sense. They kind of destroy us. But they're still here for a reason, I guess. And that's what I've been thinking about. Like how deep it all is, like how deeply entrenched it all is, and how far away I am from it. That's how I've been thinking about how far away I am from everything that's going on. Like I'm just somewhere else. It's just like I'm here, but I feel like I'm somewhere completely different at the same time. Like, it just, not that I don't understand. I understand. It just makes absolutely no sense. In every sense. What's going on in this world, it makes no sense at all. And I'm okay with that now, I guess. Which is very unfortunate because a younger version of me would not have been okay with anything. And I used to let it destroy me. Like, I literally used to let it destroy me. I used to let what was happening in the world destroy me, consume me completely. I would go on deep dives online, just learning about everything to try and make sense of what was going on. And the more I learned, the more I realized I don't know anything at all. No matter how much I know nothing. And that's the same when it comes to spirituality. That's the same when it comes to accents and the way that we talk. That's the same when it comes to the systems, history, cycles, repeating, etc., science, etc., math, etc. The more that I knew, the more I knew nothing. And it doesn't make me feel stupid. It kind of just makes me feel at ease, that no matter how much I know, I can always know more. And that I have the choice to make my voice sound however I want to make it. And I have the choice to use my voice for whatever I want to use it for. And that's just such a privilege. Like, it's incredibly privileged. And sometimes I try to grapple with my situation. And try to make it, try to get more. Just more. Like, I just want more, Like, and I try and belittle myself to try to make me get up and do something. And then I remember that's not me. That's not even me. That's the people from my past in my head. And sometimes I feel like I need to use my voice or exert myself because no one else will. And I realize that's not me. That's me from my past. That doesn't mean I care any less about what's happening in the world. It's just that, honestly, for my own peace of mind, I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I just feel like we've done so much talking about it. We've done so much talking. But what are we doing? We've done so much talking, like so much. It's actually too much now. I'm so tired of it. Whatever I can say about Marcellus Williams was already discussed 500 years before he was even born, probably. Whatever I can say about the systems that are in play probably has already been talked about. It's just like, what else? There's nothing to say anymore. You have nothing to procrastinate with anymore. What are we gonna do? Do we have solutions? Do we have ideas? I have ideas, I actually do. But again, are we gonna listen to the actions? Are we gonna listen to the ideas? not just to what's already been said, but what's being said that's brand new. Are we going to listen? Or are we just going to close our ears and eyes and senses to a different possibility? And I think I'm going to take this back to accents. I sometimes feel like an anomaly because of the way that I sound. When I was younger, my mom used to say to me, why do you speak as if you haven't been fed? Like, you sound like you haven't been fed, like we don't feed you. And at the time I was like, what type of saying is that? Is my voice being naturally soft or wrong? What does that even mean? Does it mean that I lack confidence because I have a softer voice? I would just try to make sense of what was said. And I realized there was no sense. There's just words. There was nothing to make sense of that. Just words. Just saying. And I feel like words have a lot of impact, but they don't really mean anything if there's nothing to it. It's just an endless string of words. It's like when you crochet, there's string and there's pattern. Without the pattern, there's just string. And, I would hear those little things, those little sayings, the tone of the way she would say it. And I would just, try to make sense of it. But there was nothing to make sense of. It was just words. Like, the words didn't mean anything. There was actions that actually did mean something. That made sense of what she was saying. And, I've been thinking about that a lot. And, the ties to, abuse. How words can be used but mean absolutely nothing when there's actions that go outside of it that that are tied to those words, but without those actions they mean nothing. It's just words. Without the action of speaking, it's just words. That writing it down, it's just words. Without speaking to someone about it, whatever it is, it's just a thought. We are the ones that make things real. We make it happen. We're the portals, And it's just so crazy to me that even now, they still don't listen to women, We still don't listen to women. We still don't listen to Black women. I feel like there's such a weird imbalance going on with the way that we view marginalized people. We view them as these people that are dependent on us, people that need us, when it's the other way around. We need them. We need disabled people to be able to tell us the cracks that are in the system because they feel it the most. We need autistic people to be able to tell us of the patterns that are going on around us because they see it the most. We need people with ADHD to show us how flawed our spectrum of time is because they feel the consequences of it the most. We need Black people to tell us of how unfair everything is because they see it the most. We need each other. We need actions. These words mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. You can hear people talking for hours and hours on end about fake, imaginative worlds that don't exist, writing essays, making video essays for entertainment, etc., etc. And it's just words. And without the words, without the action behind those words, there would just be a thought in their head. But they write it down and they make it something for you to consume. So I just wanted to talk about it, to talk about how finite and infinite everything around us is, to talk about how stable and unstable everything around us is, how a bomb could drop on me right now, but it isn't, how my lip liner can smear right now, but it isn't, and how even the way that I'm speaking now isn't finite. This isn't who I am. Like, it's not the entirety of my being. This video doesn't completely encapsulate who I am, but at the same time it does. So what are we gonna do about it? All these words that we're hearing, all these stories, Kendrick Lamar's music, P. Diddy, what are we gonna do about it? Are we just gonna look and keep walking the same beat to the same drum, chain to the rhythm, or are we gonna step out and place a new piece, move in a different direction, take a new step, even if it's been done before? It's still a new one. To you? Are we gonna do something different? Or are we just gonna I don't know. I actually have no idea. I could sit here and act as if I know more. But like I said, the more that I know, the less that I know. The more I know, the less I know. The more that there is, the less there is. I don't know, shit. You're the one who creates meaning from what's here. Even I can't tell you what things mean to you. I can't force you to care about Black people. I can't force you to care at all about anything that's outside of your perspective. It's something you have to do on your own. You have to choose. Every action is a choice. But words are just words. It's just... I think that's why I like talking so much, because it's very infinite. Words are continuous. Even when they stop, they don't. Even if I stop speaking, they don't go away. They're up here. I think I like speaking because it feels like I'm untangling something. I'm untangling all the words that are up here, throwing them out. And it's really interesting, the type of words people are drawn to, the type of stories people are drawn to, the type of music people are drawn to. It's very interesting, and it actually says a lot about the person, but then a lot about the world as well, the world at large. There's a reason why I don't like being called a bitch, and it has nothing to do with the word, but it has everything to do with the action, with the context of that word, what it means, figuratively, physically, what it means. And the word bitch isn't physical, but it is. It feels like getting whipped. Just as the same way the N-word does when it comes out of the mouth of someone who's white. These words mean nothing when there's no actions behind them. But there are actions behind words. And they mean everything. They mean everything. The words, I love you, mean nothing. But they mean everything. When someone says it. When there's an action behind it. When your actions show that truth of what you said. But anyone can say anything. Just because it's said doesn't mean that it's the truth. So, I don't know. Begs to differ. Are my words truth to you? Or are they just words? Do I mean something when I say? Or is me saying meaning something? I don't know. Anyways, I think that's enough. Like, I feel so drained, but not really, more like, Let me know, guys. What do words mean to you? What do actions mean to you? Just say. Say whatever. Doesn't matter anyways. Say anything in the comments. I hope you guys.